Greetings everyone, welcome back to Pike and Shot campaigns and welcome back to learning the game. Today I am playing as the English from 1494 to 1542 and my opponent Awesome is playing the Scottish 1494 to 1557. Now, the English at this period are kind of terrible. They have these horrendously bad, where are they? Where are the hilariously bad militia units? Here they are. They have the hilariously bad bowmen and longbowmen, which are bow, heavy weapon, swordsman capability. These units look formidable with 2,000 men per unit, but because they're only heavy weapon 50% and swordsman 50%, well, they do have complete melee capability, but trust me, they do very, very badly against organised pike units, such as the Landsknecht Kyle here. Now, we do have the Landsknecht Kyle. Now, these mercenary pikemen are superior to the Scottish pikes. However, we only get 2 of them, so this is wherever we want to make our breakthrough, this is where this unit needs to be. And I may actually have underestimated these units in my other game. I might want to try and use the Scots cavalry to hold them up. So try not to get them locked in by cavalry, and try to get them into the midst of the Scottish pike. We do have access to some good quality men-at-arms. We'll be taking them. Only 500 men in a unit, so they can't break up a Scottish pike block on their own. However, they can hold them for some time. The real killing power of the English army lies, of course, in their famous longbows. And if these longbows can fire into a Scottish pike block for long enough, they can disrupt the pike block and they can bring it down. So I'll need these for fire support, and I'll also want the light guns to cause extra cohesion tests. I suspect I don't think I want to bother too much with these militia units, though. And these are the infamously bad units in the English army, because these really can't hold against the Scottish troops at all, though they could be useful in the rough ground. If I want to be more aggressive, though, I think what I really want to do is go for the light gendarmes, who are still more than a match for any Scottish horse, and the gendarmes, because these units can actually be used to block the Scottish pikes, and the demi-lancers can be used for the same purpose. See, what else will we bring? I really don't want to bring the awful billmen and longbowmen, because they really are just there to get shot to pieces. Let's see. So the Scots can bring up to 11 units of pike. So I do need to have at least 11 units in my army, which are capable of blocking those. So let's see, we've got 1. So we've got 3 units, 5 units that can potentially get put in front of the pike. And I'm not counting my longbowmen in that analysis. 6, 7. We've got the 2 Landsknecht Kyles, that's 8, 9, and we don't have anything else. So I think I will have to bring a couple of units. The militia are horrible. Absolutely terrible units. If I had to bring some of them to the battlefield, I suppose I prefer to bring my billmen and longbowmen. Well, that's 11 units, so that's all of the Scottish pike tied up now. I don't know if it is. I think they can bring up to 13 actually. Which makes me rethink the strategy of trying to tie up all of... I might want to just go for a swarm of units. I think that's what we want to do. We want to go for a swarm of cheaper units and tie down the Scottish advance as much as possible while we rain fire on it. Of course, we're left with an awkward number of points, so I need to leave something behind. What I can do straight away is upgrade my guns. Does that leave me anything I can actually afford to take? Not really. I definitely don't want to leave a unit of longbowmen behind, but I might not have any choice. But the cannons doesn't give me enough. And the longbows don't either. I don't want to leave behind the men-at-arms. That's 46 is an enormous number of points to leave in the bank. It says something about how terrible you are that I'd rather take a unit of light guns than an entire unit of 2,000 soldiers. Oh, fine, we'll just go with what we have. I don't like this, but I really don't like leaving 46 points in the bank. But I don't think that I can make good use of these billmen and longbowmen, given what my strategy is, and so I'd rather just take the swarm of units. If we can get behind them and threaten the Scottish forces from behind, or if we can target the Highlanders, then these units will be more than enough. So let's get into it. Next turn. So here we are on the battlefield. On this flank, I have a defensive line with my men-at-arms and my longbowmen and billmen on the rough ground here. These units are only slightly disordered due to their mixed status, but the pikes will be moderately disordered. So this at least gives the billmen a fighting chance. If we could fight from this position, of course, it would be better. But I do need to try and induce the pikes into a fight here. What I actually plan to do is when the pikes get close, I'm going to surge forward my Lanchneck Kyle and try and break through the Scottish lines quickly and then circle around their backs. The purpose of the cavalry over here isn't to fight, it is actually to block the enemy advance and basically hold the pike wall up, and then the longbows who are moving across the flanks will then come in and from the sides start shooting down the Scottish pike blocks, and that's how we're going to try and win today. And the light lancers can also try and beat off the Scottish cavalry and then get right around the backs and then charge into the rear, and that's the plan today. I've also got the light guns to offer further fire support and force the Scottish pikes to take extrication tests while the longbows are bombarding them. So very simple plan, let's go for it. Next turn. Here we go. Interesting. Moving straight over towards my cavalry wing. So we've got, looks like we're facing 11 units of unarmoured pikemen. And he's brought some arquebusiers as well. Well, I would have thought my longbowmen would be quite well matched against arquebusiers. Quite a lot of Highlanders. There is a problem with being too defensive here. The men-at-arms will be a good match for the Scots Highlanders, as their superior status gives them a good chance of withstanding the impact. But the arquebusiers are going to be a serious threat to them, so we need to bring the... but then there's the light lancers to counter. I think the balance of force rests with him over here. But in the centre, it's a different story. If my massed longbows can break up his... If I can beat his light lancers on this flank, I think I'll actually come out to challenge him in that respect. Focus my cannons on them as well. Then my massed longbows may be able to win, may be able to decide the battle here. Thinking about where to position each of my units. So I want to bring the light guns up to attack his pike blocks and use my cavalry to block the pikes. But we need to maneuver quickly in order to get into that position. I might be able to make for the rough ground if he advances too quickly here. And in hindsight, this position here isn't actually doing much to help us, is it? I'd probably be better off moving my cavalry further along here. Oh no, wait, that's right, because these units are going to emerge. Never mind, I'll turn all this around next turn. Okay, next turn. That's extremely scary. He's moving around the radius of my longbowmen. Okay. It looks like he's planning to ignore this. Oh, I suppose he's... I see what his plan is. He's going to try and get the Scots Highlanders into these units here, and then leave the pikes to deal with the cavalry. That's smart. So the weaker part of his army is stronger than the weaker part of my army, and so that obviously is advantageous to him. I'll continue to swoop right around the back, and I'll try and set up a cavalry battle here. Because this, I'm fairly sure I can win. As long as we're not too unlucky with the way the dice rolls go. Our archers should continue to make for the rough ground. The more I look at this, the more I think I might have to be aggressive with my pike, with my cavalry. Because they'll be there next turn. They'll be right on top of my archers. So if I want my cavalry to be able to protect my archers, and they're going to have to come out. We're going to have to move more quickly than this. I'm alive to the danger those pikes pose now. Let's start the shelling. And cross our cavalry over because we need to move quickly. They mustn't get trapped. I also want to try to use my light guns to support the situation. It's difficult manoeuvring. Oh no, that was a unit of longbows! Okay. I think that's just about fixable. We can swing out again, but it's dangerous. See, that move, the situation here has forced me onto a more aggressive footing than I originally anticipated. I'll need to wait until these units close in, and then I can send out the Lanzknecht Kyle and the men-at-arms, and we can hopefully start to crush them in a little bit. You guys need to start falling back, and we'll twist to cover this approach. They're out of range. The bellmen and longbowmen can't get involved, but I can make the arquebusiers veer a little bit further off, slow them down just a little bit. We need to stay defensive on this flank. Thankfully, they're only light lancers and not lancers, so I can fall back if I want to, at least until the Scots Highlanders get close to us next turn. So in the other game, I'm fairly confident as the Scots as the English, I think, who have the hard job. Let's advance right up to me and attack. That's fine, our troops are on the rough ground, we can withstand the light lancers. But those Highlanders give me the chills. He's really focusing on with his light troops here, which is a good choice. My gendarmes could do a lot of damage to those Scots Highlanders if we could get into them. Ooh, good shot from the cannons. Right. How do we want to do this? So I probably want to focus my cannons on one particular unit. I think I'll go for the unarmored pike block. Oh wait, of course we don't need to hide like this because right, okay. So let's think about formation we can get into to make sure we have line of sight on those guns. And we want to move into this formation anyway because we want all of our longbows to have a clear line of fire on the artillery, line of fire on the guns. So if I can move here and turn around like this, if we can arrange the archers in the right way, I could possibly make a go of this. I also have to think about it carefully. Let's see, move. Okay, let's see. Move to here and turn. Just move them down to here for the moment. That has unfortunately right, so I can hit this unit, which is my target unit. We're going to focus fire on that pike block. Uh-oh. Okay, facing's a problem here. Okay, so move up to here. Start to move the Landsknecht Keil into position. And since we're being threatened... oh, great. You could have chased them a little bit further than that, lads. So keep the rest of our units back so I can threaten either the Scots Highlanders or these Scots Highlanders over here. And now I'll just bombard the pike blocks here, but the cannons on their own won't be able to do much. Okay, not my best formation ever, but it's working. And also I can start to slip cavalry around his back and start to try and get at the back of the unarmoured pikeman's line. This could paralyse his entire pike line if I can arrange my troops properly. But I am worried about these because I think they could block off a retreat if they move to here. Of course, I can then move up to Landsknecht Keil, but the gendarmes will be dead by this point. Moving here was a disaster. Still learning this. I had a decent plan, but the micro's playing with me next turn. Right. Yeah, not gonna lie, I fear this army. God, we lost so many men at arms. Oh, he moved light lancers in to block them. That's a grudge right there. A jovial grudge. I don't hold anything actually against someone for blocking him with lights, but because it is just rules of the game. But it's so annoying when you let it happen to you. Oh, good. We've got a disruption. Yes! We disrupted the pikes. Oh, but these guys are dead. Couldn't make lightning strike twice, but if we also add in the bow fire. Okay, well, at least I get to do this. That is the long pause of someone who realizes that their position has been fatally undermined. Not that I really had much faith in it to begin with. I could move out to try and block the oncoming pike blocks. And then use the archers to try and go after the unarmored pikemen. But Awesome has me in a seriously messy situation here. Could also be blocking in my own troops. What if I adjust my facing? That at least protects against flank attack. But we wouldn't be able to fall back to this zone because it's controlled by the unarmored pikemen. That leaves one more option, unpalatable as it is. Drop back and rearrange the formation. Because I do need to still try and protect my guns. So we'll move back up. I don't know, I just don't have the right configuration for this, I think. Yikes, do we really have that much chance of losing an impact? Focus fire over here. No dice. Well, we broke through the Arquebusier, so at least I'm making him pay for it. But we charged so slowly. Well, I can't shy away from it anymore. We have to charge, and we managed to survive impact. Okay. Oh, this is going to be a hard one. Next turn. So Awesome's confident he's going to beat me. Well, we'll see, because he may have gotten a positional advantage from this side of the battlefield. Right out of flanking range. And of course the cavalry are getting slaughtered. Now it is possible for the English to win this fight, and I've done it before against the AI, but it is a difficult fight. Ooh, that was a good impact. Oh, of course, now this is again my Field of Glory instincts betraying me, because in Field of Glory, of course, cavalry infantry units can only charge from 2 tiles away. In this game, oh goodness, I didn't even see those light lancers before they hit me. But in this game they can do it much sooner. And wow, those Scots Pike are just tearing through my cavalry. And he's going to pursue on to try and get further. And he's locked in these units here. The cursed gendarmes routed in the worst possible direction. But if he doesn't do anything here, he will hit these unarmored pikemen in the back. Okay, and they should manage to fall back this turn. With a bit of rearrangement of our lines, we might be able to repair the situation. Okay. And it's actually even between the longbowmen and the Scots Highlanders now, so if I can protect my flanks, this is an open question still. That's fine, we fell back. Where there's life, there's hope. Because it was this turn, I can't do anything with this. And the thing is, this situation's unstable because there's even more Scots on the way. Excellent. Excellent. And now we charge them, and that's the unarmoured pikemen gone. And that's disrupted this pike block here. I couldn't have asked for a better result than that. And we'll hit them in the back. Now they'll just drop off. If this unit falls back first, now we can concentrate fire on this disrupted unit. And they might fragment under fire. There we go. And now... crash! Uh-oh. Oh, great. Well, it was going well until that happened. Move these units into threatening range. Because the zone of controls work, how the zone of controls work, they still exert a penalty. They still exert zone of control over me. Very frustrating. I like it because it does mean that you can't slide through gaps as easily. I see the reasoning behind it, but it's still annoying to be on the receiving end of. So now, of course, the pikes can flank my demi-lancers. We'll still take out the pike block, but it's going to maim our cavalry. And I don't have many resources left, but we have caused some serious damage to the... oh goodness, he's got these guys right around the flank. Is it just me, or our army's a lot more slippery in this game? A lot more slippery in this game. Okay, we lost impact, but we are still in good shape. We are winning over here. I do need to do something to try and stop this unit from going into our backs. I can't really do anything about it at this point. Turn this way so we fall back in good order. These guys will hopefully rout out the way soon. Presence of the light lancers is a major problem because they're going to pick off all my artillery. So, I mean, unless the Lanchnecht Kyle win quickly, we're in deep trouble here. What I can do and will do is start to set up a counter flank here. So we've taken heavy casualties here, but we're still winning the fight. It's even here. And we should win here without any, except the unarmored pikemen are now going to hit us. So we'll take out the Scots Highlanders, but it's uncertain at this point. And I think with the losses amongst our cavalry, it's probably leaning in Awesom's direction. Awesom's direction. Next turn. Shame they couldn't break. Oh, if only that had gone through. As they've broken my cannons. Well, they weren't a critical part of my plan, but it certainly hurts to lose them like this. That's helpful. That is immensely helpful. We might be able to save ourselves with that. Oh, that was lucky they went after my Oh no, but they caught them. Those light lancers were very foolish not to stand their ground. Always annoys me when they do that. Oh, that's a bad hit. Yeah, it's not enough to make it hard. I have to win. God, just raining hell on my units. Good, that's a disruption. Huh. Thought they could flank my cavalry. Curious that that awesum chose not to engage there. I wonder why. We couldn't break them. We're going to get flanked now. Let me just check the recording. Ah, awesum's misjudged. It's a shame we couldn't run into the Scots Highlanders as well. But I'll take it. And that's a fragmentation. This is looking good. We've just freed up this part of our line to take on this unarmoured pikemen. Now it's really just the battle over here that's in balance. Well, we're going to lose our guns. That much is guaranteed. I can't afford to get overconfident. I need to be careful what I do here. What I'm worried about is that if I move to block this situation here, then my demi-lance will end up getting blocked in, but I may not have much of a choice here, to be perfectly honest. Maybe I can get round and resolve this situation. I'm nervous because I know there's unarmoured pikemen are coming through and I need to be able to make my escape. Because we do not want our longbowmen to be attacked by those pike blocks. Oh, and our flank is also being threatened, which, you know, some people would consider a concern. Right. Okay, charge through. That's another pike block out the way. That's a very messy retreat path. Very messy retreat path. Foolish retreat path, really, for them to take. Oh, I just realised I kind of have to do... Well, I can't prevent this. I can't stop them from flanking that unit if the pursuit doesn't continue. What I can do is this. There. Hopefully that will save us from any flanking threats. I'm wondering if it's better just to turn around and escape from the situation. Drop back with the longbowmen, turn these guys around, and head for the rough ground. Or try to interfere with this situation. The thing is, if I just abandon this situation over here, then, well, we do have demi-lancers here. If these units can survive and organise themselves, then we might be able to do something about this unit here. But it's a slightly unnerving situation, all things considered. We're going to lose here, simply because these light lancers will keep hitting us in the back. So it's still in the balance. It's going to be a hard-fought battle now. I don't know what to do here because the situation is very unnerving. We'd be better off trying to regroup or trying to get past all of this into the back of the Scots Pike. For the moment, turn and shoot. We may as well do some damage. Right. Try and get these guys into action. Make them an active part of the fight that my opponent needs to worry about. We're not likely to cause many casualties at this point. I don't want to get any closer to that unit of pikemen. We're dangerously close as it is. Next turn. Oh, fire off a volley. Okay. I knew one of my units was going to end up in the flanking threat. Brilliant. So they should go next turn. Our men-at-arms continue to die. But we're through with the billmen and longbowmen. That is good and bad. We'll get to shoot them again, but they will also get to charge us again. Not entirely sure that was helpful. Oh, they also get to shoot us again. Never mind. Yeah, those men-at-arms are not long for this world. That was a bad turn. Oh, we disrupted their lancers. Brilliant. I thought that was a done deal. Try and stumble away. Still can't break those pike blocks. But that's two fragmentations now, so they should both go together. And they disrupted my cavalry. Honestly, if we can keep these pike blocks busy now until they break, then that should be the end of the battle. We don't need to win this anymore. We don't need to win this area over here anymore. You guys need to back away. You guys need to back off too. And fire. And back off. And fire. And fire. But of course, because I backed off with the cannons. Move over to here. Fire. Brilliant. Disruption. Now let's see. What can I do with this? Well, that's not... Well, the demi-lancers can turn. I think they've got enough points to do that. But there's a pike block over here. Okay, maybe I've misjudged. But it's occupied with the light gendarmes. Okay, let's try to think about this. because that might force him to move after this. Well, he can always turn on this longbowmen unit here. I don't actually have a lot of good options to counter this unit. I wish I hadn't moved this unit of longbowmen forward. That was foolish. I think if I move this unit here, it might be able to careen into the back of the unarmored pikemen, but that's not really a solution to the problem. I'll focus fire on this pike block as it's more dangerous to us at the moment. I don't quite have the facing to deal with this. What I can try to go off and deal with is these Scots Highlanders here. Because we've got this situation in hand, honestly. So if they can hold out just a little bit longer. Oh, this is horrible. Ah, disruption. Right, back at you. No, there's not a whole lot I can do there. Well, except leave them there. And that way he can't go after my demi-lancers because he'll be setting himself up for flank attack. So that's pretty much all I can do. Hopefully we'll win it next turn with the lance neck break anyway. Ah, no, this... Oh, this could be useful. Now this gives me... Wait a second. No, I want those pike blocks to break on their own under pressure from my pike blocks because I want to bring them around and start to threaten the backs of these vulnerable units. So we've got these pike blocks in a kind of trap now, and hopefully it's one that will stick next turn. That's a break. A second break. Are we done? That's it. Victory. Okay, let's talk about that. So I won the other game against awesum4 as well, where I used the Scots Pike to quickly break a line of billmen and bowmen. I think this basically came down to army choice. I brought a force of cavalry and cannons and longbowmen, and I relied on delay and firepower and surrounding the pike blocks to win the day, while trying to draw up with a solid infantry line of billmen and bowmen against that Scots pike. The billmen and bowmen are almost useless out in the open, but the cavalry, the gendarmes, can actually stand their ground. And if they're arranged in such a way that the cannons and the longbowmen can fire into the ranks of the pike and cause great casualties and cause disruptions, and other cavalry units can get around the back of the pike, as long as the cavalry's flanks can be protected, they can win the battle that way. It's still a difficult battle for the English, but it proves that it can be done. Of course, the trouble is that the longbowmen and the militia billmen that you do have to bring still have problems with the Highland clansmen, but you can counter that with the men by protecting them with the men-at-arms, and also the longbowmen's fire means they do have a chance of, they have greater fire, and so they have a chance of disrupting the Highlanders before melee can be joined. And even then, even if all of that fails, if the longbowmen can survive impact with the Highlanders, then they do have an equal chance in melee. It's the impact from the Highlanders which makes them dangerous. So you still want to use your longbowmen and bellmen in rough ground, because although they will still be vulnerable to other units, they will fight much better than if you put them out in the open. So there's usually a few patches of rough ground. Take the few units of bellmen that you have to take, put them on the rough ground, protect them with some longbowmen and some men-at-arms, and that should help them survive. But that's just my own personal experience. These two armies from single player are probably the armies I have the most experience with. I've played quite a few Scottish games and I've played quite a few English games, so I do know my way around the armies a little bit. I think trying to use the cavalry to block the Scots pike blocks like that's a new strategy for me. I came up with that in the moment, but I have a basic idea of how to use the armies already, and that will have helped me out a little bit here. Anyway, folks, I've been Napoleon Complex. Thank you for watching this video, and I will see you in the next one. Farewell. Oh, and special thanks to my opponent, awesum4, for playing and making this video possible. And farewell. Don't let the pike blocks grind you down. And here's the casualty screen.